go. Question 1. Guns versus melee. Are there any
here we go.
plans?
Knew he was going to ask this.
I knew he was going to ask this.
Knew
Are
it.
there any plans to bring the damage of primary and secondary weapons up in line with our melee scaling to balance things out, or are you happy with the gulf between weapons?
We are not happy.
No. I'm saying it's important that the work that goes into the content for melee has a home, and we've just kind of established that there's a huge gulf, and there's just small things we're going to look at in tweaking, like the speed and the parenting. And the goal isn't to take away the power fantasy in the slightest. Melee is one of Warframe's strengths when you look at the game. So I would just encourage the community to take a listen to what we said and why we want to do it, and then obviously wait for some write-ups and some facts for everyone. But I think that in the spirit of the content that gets made for melee, and when you do see those attack speed situations that obviously I would say to Jeff's artistic sensibilities, you would like the melee world to just be a bit more grokkable when you want to see what's going on. But
yeah, it just turns into noise for me, for sure, for a lot of it.
Yeah. It's completely nonsensical. You can't even see what's going on.
Melee is a lot of what lets people kill certain enemies, steal paths
Yes,
specifically.
I really, really want people to understand that we're really, really trying hard not to just take a nerf to melee. The really, really easy path to this is to just nerf melee. That's not what we're doing. We're looking at things to lower it a little bit and bring the guns up. So we're raising the power of the guns is 90% of the fix that we're looking at.
Yeah.
Awesome. Melee is such an iconic part of Warframe now that we would not want to step on it.
So 2 dev streams ago, a really hot topic was, melee is just the way to play Steel Path specifically, which is where the divide between your guns and your melee is most obvious. Through the core star chart, you can kind of get away with much more diverse gameplay between guns and melee, but that's not the case in Steel Path. So what's coming in Sisters of Parvos, if this changes, we'll let you know, is so that's why it says tentative, but we are looking to do the melee and gun review. This means that you'll want to know all the details. So of course, we will be working on a dev workshop and video, which we are planning for June 16th. This slide is essentially a recap of what we talked about in the prior dev stream, where we did say that there would be a small amount of nerfs, but then a lot of power increase. And we want to make clear that the power increase is going to come for guns via mods and new upgrades. We're not going to go through every primary weapon and secondary weapon in the game and change their base stats, because they're actually quite powerful. It's just the mods aren't as good as melee mods. So you don't have things like Blood Rush for primary. You don't have things like Berserker. In fact, I don't even think there is a sacrificial mod for primary weapons. I might be having a total brain fart here, but the modding is quite different, which is why one of the reasons why melee scales so well. So what you can expect is a handful of nerfs and a power increase for guns and mods via mods and new upgrades. So we are taking a good look at this because, you can demonstrate the power of melee in any number of ways, whether you're filming yourself just spamming E or otherwise. We do want to make sure that guns are getting more use. And it's really in the framework of Steel Path, because that's where the divide is most dramatic. That's where you are. Yeah. So the Steel Path is going to be our litmus
I think
test.
the plan is to make it so you have to earn some of these through Steel Path too, as well, right?
Yes, yeah. So the Steel Path is going to be where we want you to be able to use your guns more and effectively give you your guns a new lease on life when you're playing content of that level. So that's where we're headed with this. So this is sort of your guidebook for all things balance that we're going to take a stab at for the Sisters of Parvos update.
We need to add pitchforks to our Warframe merch store. I think we would sell so many.